Hey, what's up, everybody? This is going to be a review of Manhattan Mayhem 4. If you guys don't know, Eddie Edwards actually won the ROH World title from Roderick Strong. It was a phenomenal match. I will probably say this is probably the match of the year so far, from what I've seen. And yeah, once this comes out on DVD, I think you guys would like it. There is probably about four matches that pretty much reached the four-star level. Um, so yeah, I think that gives you a reason to buy the DVD right there. I think it was a great show. So let's just break it down. Then I'll talk about some of the other stuff after the review is over. We had Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. They started off the show against Michael Elgin and the guy from the Spirit Squad, Mikey Mondo. This is a really good opener. You know, you got Cole and O'Reilly out there. These guys got time. A lot of nice spots. They went for about 15 minutes. It was a hard-hitting matchup with a lot of nice tags to Cole and O'Reilly. Very, very athletic match. Elgin looked like a beast once again, and then after the match, Michael Elgin actually turned on Mikey Mondo. And so Elgin was really put over as a monster. You know, because Mondo lost the pinfall, so he got pissed off about that. Just like they did on HDNet with whoever was Elgin's partner a couple weeks ago. They pretty much did that same thing. And yeah, so just a very good opening match. I wouldn't say it was quite as good as the All Night Express match from Final Battle, but it was pretty close. Next up, we have Grizzly Redwood taking on Ciampa from the Embassy. I forget what his first name is. I think his last name is Ciampa. Haven't seen this guy before, but you know, he's in pretty good shape. He has like a blonde. He's got like dyed blonde hair with a mohawk. And I mean, this was okay. This was more of a you know, filler match. You know, really nothing to talk about here. A lot of the crowd was kind of you know, getting up, going to the bathroom, just not a lot of people were paying attention here. It was fun to see Grizzly Redwood, but you know, this is pretty much an example of a filler match. That's pretty much all I could say. Next up, we had the Prodigy Mike Bennett taking on Steve Corino. I thought Corino looked really, really good here. He really looked like he lost about maybe 5 to 10 pounds since I last saw him. But actually, this is probably the weakest part of the show. I mean, it really, really brought the show down for me. I was really not enjoying myself. Up to this point, I really was bored and kind of you know, kind of pissed that I had to watch the Prodigy Mike Bennett wrestle this match, because I don't know, I just thought his offense was very, very boring, very routine. Just not, I don't know, man. He's just not impressing me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's just trying to play a heel. It doesn't seem like he's putting out his offense. It just seems very, very generic to me. There's just nothing about this guy that I like so far, and I think he's pretty overrated on the mic. That's just me. So yeah, like a pretty average match right there. But I'll say Corino looked good. I thought Corino did a good job in trying to make this match watchable, and so that's pretty much what it is. All right, so let's jump into the Briscoes versus the All Night Express. This is when the show really started to pick up, and you know, this was an excellent match. This is probably the best match that the Briscoes and All Night Express have had so far, which really isn't saying that much, but it was still great. I would say this is almost a four-star match, and the great thing about this was you know, the Briscoes officially turned heel, and you know, just a great decision by Delirious, because I think he pretty much knew the New York fans were gonna, you know, be mixed about the Briscoes, and as soon as the Briscoes came out, they got heat right away. I don't know if you know, the NYC fans are still pissed off about the interference from the Supercard of Honor 5 match, or the Papa Briscoe thing. I don't know why, but New York kind of hates the Briscoes over the last couple months. I don't know why. I guess the Briscoes are just stale, you know, because you know, they've pretty much been baby faces for such a long time now. But yeah, you know, the Briscoes turned heel after this match, and they pretty much played heels throughout the entire match. I mean, just really good stuff here. Rhett Titus actually got busted open. He was bleeding, and the Briscoes just played these, you know, really, really. They kind of played the bullies throughout the whole match. You know, Kenny King got a awesome hot tag. As soon as Kenny King got tagged in at one point, the crowd just went crazy. Just a lot of, just a great tag team wrestling match here. Like I said, it had a hot crowd. You know, great hot tags to both teams, and you know, the finishing sequence is really, really good. Actually, Kenny King got knocked out, and then the Briscoes were actually going for the Doomsday Device, and then Rhett Titus actually countered the Doomsday Device into a roll-up, and then you know, so Kenny King and Rhett Titus actually won the match. And then after the match was over, the Briscoes were just, you know, both Jay and Mark Briscoe were staring at Rhett Titus. They were just pissed off that they lost the match, and they snapped, and they started beating the shit out of the All Night Express. Then the crowd started booing. And then, you know, Kenny King pulled off a 6 spot to help Rev Titus out because he was getting ambushed. So, you know, that finishing sequence, it was just a nice brawl, kind of setting up a WrestleMania match, or WrestleMania weekend match between the Briscoes and the All Night Express. And like I said, the Briscoes turned heel. I thought it was really, really well done. And so that's pretty much it. Yeah. So after intermission, we have El Generico versus TJ Perkins. You know, this was short and sweet. This was a nice athletic match. This didn't get a lot of time. It had a hot finish with Generico doing the brain buster on the side of the ring apron, which is good. You know, they didn't want to kill the crowd. You know, you had 3 main event matches that had to follow this, but you know, this had a lot of replay value. You could watch this over and over again. This went about maybe 7 to 9 minutes, and I would say it was you know, just solid and sweet. You know, TJ Perkins looked good. El Generico looked good as he always does. So that's pretty much all I could say. All right, next up we had the Kings of Wrestling taking on LAX. And, you know, the crowd was hot for this match. You know, you would think because of Homicide and the whole TNA thing that a lot of the fans would turn on Homicide. But he got a great reaction once again. You know, a lot of people there were wearing Homicide shirts. Homicide is probably selling more merchandise than anyone else in ROH, you know, just from what I saw tonight. And, I mean, a lot of people don't really like Hernandez. A lot of people think his psychology is kind of poor. I think a lot of you guys that are really, really strict on match psychology will probably be against this match. This felt like more like a TNA match in ROH. You know, if you've seen some of the LAX matches against AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels from back in 2006, this is kind of reminiscent of that with Hernandez. You know, he did a suicide dive into the crowd. He actually did a border toss to Homicide and threw him right into the Kings of Wrestling onto the outside. I think Claudio actually did the UFO to Hernandez, which looked really, really awesome. And, you know, Hero with a lot of stiff elbow shots. Hero was really stiff with Hernandez. I thought this came off great. You know, it was really, really fun. You know, probably not the best Kings Wrestling match to date, but the crowd liked it. Everything went well. Claudio actually won the match with the European uppercut. So, yeah. I'm saying on DVD this will probably come out to about a solid 4 stars. All right, so next up we had Davey Richards versus Christopher Daniels. And this was an excellent match once again. You know, probably not as explosive and as crazy as the other matches they had in Chicago last year for Richards versus Daniels, which everyone should check out. I think that was one of the most underrated matches of the year. But yeah, this was more of a obviously it was a pure wrestling match, pure wrestling rules. You know, there was rope breaks involved, so that kind of dictated the tempo of the match. It was a little bit more slow-paced. This is more of a hold-for-hold wrestling match. If you like pure technical wrestling, you'll definitely appreciate this match. They did a lot of good things there. Daniels, for 40 years old, the guy's in phenomenal shape, and he busted his ass here. Yeah, I was kind of afraid that now he's officially with TNA now that he was kind of gonna you know, hold back and not really put out, but he looked great. He took a lot of punishment in this match. There was a lot of high spots. Davey busted out a moonsault onto the outside. He actually did a crazy spot to Daniels with Daniels. Almost got split open. He was like laying on the guardrail. It's a must-see spot. Just definitely check it out. It really brought the crowd, really woke the crowd up. But yeah, they played off of the rope break situation pretty nicely. Great submission wrestling here. And, I mean, one of the things that was weird about this match was Davey actually did a shooting star press. I guess he kind of botched it on purpose, or whatever. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but as he came down, he actually hit the ropes with his leg, and actually it looked like he hurt his knee. Then Daniels was going for the Angel's wings, and then Davey just countered that into a pin, and then the match was over. So I really feel like they could have done more with Daniels going after Davey's legs after he hurt himself on the shooting star press. I don't know. I just think they could have expanded the match a little bit. You know, it was still a 4-star match. I just think they could have done more. But, you know, a solid technical wrestling match. This is going to come off really well on DVD. So I'll probably still give it about a solid 4 stars. But like I said, it doesn't really touch the Richards versus Daniels 1 match from last year. It doesn't really have the intensity and, you know, athleticism that match had, and the crazy spots. It doesn't really have that. But it's still, like I said, if you love great technical wrestling, you would definitely appreciate this match. Alright, so next up we'll move to the match of the night. We have Eddie Edwards challenging Roderick Strong for the ROH World Title. This was an excellent match. You know, the only thing that was disappointing about this was, you know, for those that don't know, the WWE was actually running a house show at Madison Square Garden So a lot of fans were just leaving right after the Davey match. And I just kind of felt it was a little bit disrespectful. But obviously they want to get to the show, get their seats, so it's understandable. But they really missed out because this was definitely the match of the year in my opinion so far. I really felt like Roderick and Eddie really busted their ass. This is more of a pro wrestling Noah type of match. A lot of you guys know these guys actually teamed up in Noah to take on Kenta in a couple tag matches last year, and so they do have a lot of chemistry. They know each other pretty well. They just slapped the taste out of each other's mouths. A lot of brutal chops. Edwards was actually chopping Roderick so hard that he was actually bleeding from the chest. So yeah, it's funny because Edwards is chopping hard as hell, man. I mean, Roderick used to chop harder than anyone, but I would say Edwards was a little bit stiffer than Roderick. I don't know if it's the weight loss from Roderick Strong or whatever, but he just doesn't chop as hard as he used to. But yeah, like I said, these guys kill each other. There's some awesome spots. Edwards put his body on the line several times. The last 10 minutes were awesome. Just a whole bunch of near falls. You know, Truth Martini interfered, which actually added to the match. There was a sequence where you definitely thought Roderick was going to retain, but Edwards kicked out. You know, the finishing sequence. I mean, the finishing sequence is really, really good. I have to say that when Edwards won the belt, it was very, very shocking. I didn't expect it. It was definitely a mark-out moment. You know, Davey actually came out at the end of the match. He didn't turn heel. It looked like Davey was going to actually turn on Eddie at one point, but then he just hugged him. We just had an awesome moment right there. So yeah, it looks like Eddie Edwards will be facing Christopher Daniels at WrestleMania weekend in Atlanta. So we'll get a rematch from the 9th anniversary show. I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm very, very happy about this decision. You know, at the same time, I know a lot of people kind of feel bad for Roderick Strong, but I think this is a blessing in disguise for Roderick because now he'll have that urge to win it back. I think some of the fans would want to see Roderick win it back and get another chance at the belt. If Roderick kept it for a whole year, you know, you don't want to see the same thing happen to Roderick that happened to Tyler Black. You know, just go to TNA or go to WWE, drop the belt. I think for the long run, I think this is the right decision. You know, a lot of people kind of skeptical about Eddie Edwards and his promos on the video wire. You know, he's going to have a tough time. He's got his work cut out for him. He's going to have to work extremely hard. But I think this makes for an intriguing situation with, you know, the whole Davey and Eddie thing. I think it's inevitable that Davey's eventually going to turn on Eddie down the road. You know, that heel turn's going to happen. But I think, you know, once it happens, I think it's going to be awesome. You know, it's just a question about whether do you do it right now at WrestleMania weekend or do you wait until maybe the summertime. I'm not really sure yet. But yeah, so overall, I would say this show was better than the 9th anniversary show. Not quite as good as Final Battle. I would say Roderick and Eddie was great. I would probably say 4.5 stars. Great, but not quite as good as Davey versus Roderick from Final Battle. Just to give you guys an idea of how great this show really was. So I guess that's pretty much it. Like I said, one of the things that hurt this show was the time. It started at 4 o'clock. So a lot of people wanted to rush out of the building and go watch the WWE house show. So yeah, if any of you guys went to the house show, let me know how it was. I heard that the WWE put together a great card. I looked at the card; it looked pretty good. You had Daniel Bryan and Ted DiBiase. You had CM Punk and John Cena. I think you had Randy Orton and The Miz. I think you had Triple H and Sheamus in the street fight. I think you had Ziggler or Morrison. So that card looked pretty good. It actually looked a little bit better than WrestleMania. But you know, I'm not a big fan of WWE house shows. I went to a couple in the past, and they were just, you know, a lot of rest holds. I just really couldn't get into it. But yeah. I'll give you guys a quick update. New Japan, they're actually coming to the East Coast, promoting it, becoming the basketball city. Those are the dates right there. So yeah, I'll give you guys a quick DVD update. I got Evolve 6. I just got this in the mail today. I got Only the Strong Survive, Champions vs. All-Stars, and I got PWG Cyanide. So yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely check out the show once it comes out on DVD. I'll probably say the overall score, just as an estimate, I'll probably say on DVD this will probably come out to about an 8.75, maybe a 9.0. I think that's being a little bit generous because I thought the Prodigy Mike Bennett match really brought the show down. Like the first 3 matches, really, I don't know. Like the second and third match of the night, I really lost interest in the show. It wasn't until the Briscoes and All Night Express match where I really, you know, got excited about the show again. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and have a good night. All right, take it easy.